Darci's Corner. So it's the middle of July in 2020. And it was about this time last year that I told my spouse, look, I'm sorry, but I'm trans and I'm tired of ignoring it and pretending like it's not there. And I did a little bit of research and I found out that there were many people like me who waited and thought it was going to go away, and then they were in their 60s and they transitioned. And I don't want to wait till I'm in my 60s. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to wait anymore. Now, I'm not putting my spouse down at all. And I'm very grateful and lucky to have her in my life. And I love her very much. Um, like, briefly, 11 years ago now, I discovered that I might be trans, and she did not take that well at all. She was very upset by the whole situation. And the next place I would go would be my faith, but my faith is a Latter-day Saint, and so they're like, anything that isn't cis and heterosexual is gay, and gay is always out. They were not cruel to me, and they were not mean to me, and neither was she really, but that was kind of their views. She was like, well, I don't want that, so you can't do that because that's harmful to me. She's since come around, but I can't blame her for having that point of view. And believe me, nobody is more surprised than I am that a year later, after this revelation, that no, this is going to happen, this is a thing now, that she's still with me. She hasn't left. She could have. I couldn't have blamed her if she did. And if she sees this, like, it's just the truth. And I got no anger against her. But the thing I've been thinking about, one of the questions she posed to me early on, and I'm sure other spouses have had these conversations. She said, what if it was me? What if I decided to change genders? How would you react? And I don't know how I would react if she decided to change genders, because I'm not... I don't know. I mean, I was attracted to her as a woman, and I wasn't attracted to her as a man. So if she decided to change genders, I don't know how I'd respond to that. I would hope I would be accepting and understanding, but that doesn't mean that I would still feel the exact same way. But I hope I would. I don't know. But that posed a better question. I'm like, well, look at it this way. What if I came out as gay and decided I was gay and that I could stay married to you if you changed your gender? If you decided to become a man, then I could still love you and stay married to you. Is there a person in the world who would do that? Imagine your spouse came to you, whatever your gender is, and says, I'm sorry, you have to switch it now. I've decided that I still love you, but I can't be with you unless you become the opposite of whatever it is you are. I can't imagine a person in the world who would do that. And the thing is, with transgender people, we are transgender, and there's not a damn thing we can do about it. We can't suddenly become not transgender just for you. And it's not like many of us haven't tried. I spent 10 years trying to not be transgender for my spouse, for my faith, for my family, my mother and father, and I mean, my daughter doesn't care, but she might have cared. I didn't know she was not going to care or not. For the sake of the harmony of my household and my family, and all the other reasons, society and jobs and whatever. I spent 10 years trying to ignore this actively. Up to that point in time, up till that 10-year point, I didn't know what those thoughts in my head meant. I just dismissed them as crazy or fantasies or like, why is that thought even there? So I didn't know what it was till then. And then when I did find out what it was, I didn't necessarily like jump on the trans train and go, oh well, let's go like makeup and breasts and stuff next week. Because it took me a while to realize what this was and what it meant and why it was important to me. And even now, like, none of us really knows why this matters to us. Okay, I don't know why I was getting angry all the time at seeing people live the lives that I wanted to live, or why I wanted to live that life. I did not have a bad life in the gender role that I was assigned at birth. My life was not bad. Could have been better in a lot of ways, but everybody's could be. But, so yeah, I don't know why it mattered to me. But I do know I do know that trying to force somebody to be a thing that they are not, to be a gender that is against who they are on the inside, you can't do it. You can't make them. If you're a cisgendered male and you're watching this, there is nothing I could do on this earth to make you become a female. There is just, I could not do it. And if you're a cisgendered woman watching this, there is nothing anybody could do to force you to become a man. Like, that is just not possible. There's not a doctor that would sign off on it, and you would become very miserable and angry throughout the whole process if somebody was forcing that on you. The idea of conversion therapy is that you can convert them from being trans. And you can't. Because you can't make them not be trans. That's not a possibility. If you happen to be transgender, you can ignore it. You can manage it in other ways than transitioning. You don't have to transition. There's nobody going to make you do that either. But if on the inside you're trans, then you are. Think of it as being left-handed, man. Like, if you're left-handed, you just are. And it doesn't matter that anybody wants to make you be different. You're still going to be left-handed. Or right-handed. It really doesn't matter. The point is that it is what it is, and you can't change it just because you want to. You can accept it. You can process it. You can find different ways of dealing with it. But it is what it is, and you can't change it just because you want to. And you can't force somebody else to not be themselves. It just will not work. Anyway, so that's Darci's rant on trying to make somebody be a gender that they aren't. And I hope this helps somebody. I hope somebody sees this and realizes, there is nothing. If you're a spouse and your spouse has come out as trans, you should know this is not personal to you. I know it feels personal, but they are not doing this to spite you. They're not doing this because they're angry with you. And it's unfortunate, but you don't get a vote in whether or not they are trans. You might get a vote in whether or not they can transition because maybe you hold the money or you have the position to get them fired, or you can leave and take everything they got or throw them out in the street. You can do that. But you can't change who they are on the inside just because you want to. And if they're changing who they are, transitioning like I am, it has nothing to do with how much they love you or not. I still love my wife. And if ever she decides that this is just too hard for her and she doesn't want to do it anymore, I will understand. Because I love her. And I can't make her be something she's not. So, that's how I feel. It's been a year. It's been a wild year. I have very tiny chest now that you can't really see because I'm laying down. But, like, I'm now looking in the mirror questioning, should I be wearing a bra now? I never thought that would happen. I never thought I'd get this far. This whole thing is, it's a wild ride. And it definitely messes with everything in your life. I did not choose this. Nobody would choose this. But I'm not ashamed of it either. It's just like being left-handed, man. Like, you don't choose to be left-handed. Either you are or you aren't. You don't choose to be transgender. Either you are or you aren't. And if you're not, that's okay. But it's not our fault. It's nobody's fault. So, yeah, a year in, made the decision. I think I'm on the right track. Still unemployed, so that's an issue. But it's a pandemic, so everybody's unemployed. Anyway, that's Darcy's Corner. Talk to y'all later. Bye.